Hello, 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 and welcome to the Mystic Nerd Squad podcast. I am so stoked to be here tonight with Jacqueline Kane. You guys, it is 2/2/2022. So we are recording on a super awesome, day, whatever you believe, whatever you're into. There is no denying the coolness of all of those twos. So I feel like whatever comes through here is going to be gold. And the topic we have for tonight, I hope all of you are there with your notebooks and your pens and a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever you like to enjoy something like this with. But we're going to talk about having a happy, healthy, and wealthy life now, not tomorrow, not in the future, but in the present tense, which I'm super excited for. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about Jacqueline Kane. Happens to be a very good friend of mine. We've been circulating in the same community for a couple years now with some amazing, incredible people who you will find in some of the books that we've been in and books to come.
People. Yeah.
Powerful people.
Yeah.
I talk about the healing and the helping that people do, but I haven't really stressed enough how amazingly incredible and powerful and capable of making things happen these people are. So if you haven't yet linked up with this community, then talk to Jackie and I about getting involved. So Jackie is a medical intuitive, a low back pain specialist, and master healer of mind-body energy modalities. Busy moms, entrepreneurs, and professionals benefit from her individual and group programs based on decades of expertise in healthcare industry and private practice. So what I love most about you is that you come from the perspective of the mom and the entrepreneur, which I, of course, relate incredibly to. And that this concept of pain, and so many of us are experiencing back pain's a huge one, but pain in general and how that tends to freeze up your life. So I'm so excited for you to lend your expertise to us today. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I love you. I love what you're doing. And I especially love all the books in the back
I
with
know.
you. I love how you get them all displayed.
Yeah, you know what it is? I feel like they're like my children. They're like over my shoulder, with me. Yeah, it's an incredible group of people involved in all of this, and I know you know how special and amazing it is. So having people on like yourself is one of the things that keeps me so enthusiastic and excited. And regardless of what else is going on in my life, this podcast and all of you are just so life-giving. And when you told me that you wanted to talk about, okay, so we could talk about a lot of different things with pain, but let's get down to the basics of we want to feel healthy, we want to be wealthy, and we want to be happy. There's probably nobody who isn't coveting one of those. And pain can be such a barrier to having those things in your life. So tell me more about that.
So I come from the background of being an x-ray tech in the hospital. So I have all of that. I saw, and I worked in hospitals, so I saw how patients were treated and how we took care of the physical body, right? Not always pretty. And I always had this insatiable belief about natural healing. I don't know where it came from. My family definitely didn't talk about natural things. It was just something that I knew inside of me that at some point it was going to come in handy, but I didn't know when. I just always was reaching for the books in the bookstore, right? About natural healing and how to get healthier. Like you, I was a nerd. Like I couldn't read enough about it, right? So, and I always thought I was doing yoga. I always focused on being positive and doing everything right. And then I got married, I had my kids, and my life started falling apart.
Mm.
And I discovered that all these things I thought I was doing right wasn't so much. That I was being impacted by the energy that I had inherited from my ancestors, right? We don't even know we're carrying, nobody talks about how the energy that you carry or the energy of a room or picking up other people's energy can impact your health, your wealth, everything, your relationships, right? So I was an x-ray tech, got married, had kids, and I was taking mammograms at the time, and the secretary said, "I'm going to go to school for massage therapy." I said, "No, you're not. That's my dream. I'm going." So that really kind of catapulted me.
I love that. You're like, stop stealing my dreams.
She was just a catalyst, right? Sometimes people just show up to say, "Are you going to do it?" Your soul is knocking on your door and saying, "This is your opportunity." So I went down that path and I learned massage therapy and I started working on people. And some people would get better after their massage. Some people it would last a little bit. And then some people, didn't help at all. And I love the idea that we can actually get out of pain. I didn't want to be the massage therapist that people just come in, feel good for a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, you know, and then you're stuck in the same. That's no fun to me. I want to get to the root cause. And thank God all these things showed up to get me to help me learn and understand people and your energy and your physical body and your mental body and your emotional body and all of this. And let's figure it out, right? Because there are people who are getting out of pain that they've had for like 17 years, right?
Mm.
20 years, had surgery and it's still there. They're feeling better. So there's just so much to talk about. And so the number one thing that has to be looked at if you're somebody out there who is living with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, arthritic pain, all these things that they tell you, they can't do anything more for you. Maybe you're taking 5 different medications, right? And it only takes the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
The missing link in our healthcare system is looking at your energy.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hear growing up? So, ancestral energy is the unresolved emotional issues of your ancestors. So, did your grandparents have the same pain you have? What did they tell you when you were being raised over and over and over again? For example, the Johnsons have low back pain. That's just how it is. The Smiths have heart problems. That's just what it is. These people have relationships problems. That's just how it is, right? So can you see how we are conditioned human beings to have certain ailments, to
Mm-hmm.
have certain health conditions, right? And when you start
Absolutely.
thinking about it, some people are like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is 2022. We should be healthier." But every year, there's like a new illness. They're giving new names to things. Like, can you stop the insanity? Just stop it, right? We don't need another pill. And I've raised my kids now when the commercials come on and there's a new pill coming on, and we all say at the end, "And side effect, last but not least, you could die." Like,
Right. I'm still laughing because you said stop the insanity, and I'm like, I know that reference, and I'm wondering, like, some people are listening and they don't remember Susan Powder, right, with the potatoes. She just ate all this stop the insanity and she was eating the potatoes. I don't know, it just made me laugh like that. That's my own little nerd out moment. I can remember all these commercials, right?
Yes.
It's
And
so
moving
true.
lines. Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, you're right. And it's funny for me because we went the route of no TV for a while. And then we brought a TV back, but never cable TV. So we have like all the, Netflix and all that. So we
Right.
don't really watch commercials often.
Oh,
But
you're depriving your
I'm
child of.
deprived. I know. He actually loves to watch commercials because it's like riveting for him. Like, what is this? I've never seen this before. He's like,
What?
usually we're like fast forward through, right? And he's like, wait, I want to watch this. What is this? What's
Oh,
going on?
that's so interesting.
It's
That's a
so
whole new
interesting, right?
concept.
But like if I'm at somebody's house and they watch cable TV and there's tons of commercials, the drug commercials over and over. One I saw yesterday, like I don't even know what the drug was
What's
for,
for?
but you could have like major breakdown of your perineum. I'm like, what are we doing? Like what?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
like,
You know,
as
I
a
know
as
we're
like a
laughing, and
because like if
some
you're
of these things
if you've
can't.
if you're a mom, you're like protect that area with everything you have. You've already done trauma. It's not sorry, derailed. But
But it's
funny
the
but
truth,
true,
and I
right?
know that we're laughing about it, and but your health is very serious, and I
Yes.
do take this very serious. I think we are over medicated. I even had a conversation like recently. I started thinking about how many people do you really think are taking some form of medication every single day?
Mm.
It's probably like one out of two,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I'm grateful I'm 57 years old. I don't take medication. I take vitamins and supplements when I feel I need it that day, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not obsessive about it. But I started asking people, how many people do you think are on some kind of medication? They're like three out of four, right?
Yeah.
Three
Right.
out of four people. And you have to look at the impact of that medication that you're taking. What's it depleting? And medication is great, but what's the overall agenda of that medication? To be
Yeah.
on it for the next 50 years of your life? Or can you do something natural that gets to the root cause of that low back pain?
Mm-hmm.
If we look at low back pain really has to do with how supportive you feel in life.
Wow.
And if you work with a lot of moms, and I work with moms, and there's a lot of moms I know, we do it all. We've kind of become the warrior. And I love that about moms because if you want something done and if you want support, you pick a mom,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we don't say no. We are there for our friends, for our family, for everybody, but it comes from a sacrifice sometimes. And
Yeah.
so
Oftentimes.
often I'm being
It's
nice.
so yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so true what you're saying and you know, it's almost like it becomes okay cuz I'm like, well, yeah, of course I'm hurting cuz I'm overdoing it, but who else is going to do this? I'm the one
Right.
that's getting stuff done,
Right.
and it's hard for people to relinquish that role.
Really hard. And for those of you out there that maybe you're a single mom, maybe your husband works all the time, whatever your story is, we're teaching our kids that. So we're teaching them
Mm.
that it's okay to have nobody, to have no support, right? And it's not right. So I'm not saying to, you know, I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong. It's just awareness. If you're living with low back pain to the point
Mhm.
where maybe you can't get out of bed most days, or you have to take a medication to get out of bed to take care of your child, to get to work, to put food on the table, what if you shifted something along the way And where in your life do you have support? Even if it's a small space, even if it's just maybe one friend, 5 minutes a week, right? But
Right.
we want to start shifting. It's a mindset, really. In order to get out of pain, it's a mindset. In order to shift our finances, it's a mindset shift. We have to reprogram the brain to retrain it. So, where in your life do you have support, and can you expand on that? What can you do today to expand in that?
Yes.
That part of you grows, and that you feel comfortable saying, "Hey, I need help today. Can you help me?" Because you deserve it and you matter.
And you know what the crazy thing is? I think the craziest part of it for me, speaking as like a reformed, like I can do everything and
Yeah.
it's you people are offering to help you
Yeah.
and you say no thank you.
Yep.
Or no, I'm fine. I'm good. We love to say we're fine. I'm fine. It's all fine. We're all fine.
Whatever. I
It's
got
a,
it.
it's a dumpster fire, but it's fine. I've got this under control. Just pay no attention to anything behind me. But, and when you do ask for help, people are like dying to help you. They want to help you.
Yeah.
That's the crazy piece of things. That's the part, like I can totally speak from like a working mom, trying to do so many things. Like the second you ask for help, everybody's like, what can I do? Just let me know.
Yeah.
You know?
And here's the thing, because I know there's probably a lot of moms out there who are saying, I'm not going to ask for help. And that's fine, but I want to give you another viewpoint. Because I've done this too. So all the years that I said, I got it, I didn't ask for help. It feels really good when somebody asks you for help, right? So for all those people that ask me for help, sure, I'll do that. It feels really good to be the giver. And so when we say, I'm good, we are actually giving somebody the chance to not give that and not feel that.
Yeah. And
You know?
they like to have that purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially men. Men really want to help us. They really, really want to help us. If we could just sometimes step back, maybe they're going to do it wrong. At some point, you got to get over that. They're not going to do it your way.
There's a bunch of women listening who are like totally triggered. They're like the ones who are at the dishwasher. Maybe nobody will notice if I reorganize this a little bit. Thanks for your help, but no thanks. I know. That for me, that relinquishing, like I think I had this sense of like if everything happens the way that I want it to happen and I have control, like then everything is okay. Yeah. And relinquishing that and saying, can you tackle this? I'll tackle this, cooperatively working on things. And believe me, like as just a side note, I have a very wonderful, helpful spouse who's very independent and able to do everything I do equally as good or better. So that's not the case for most people. But, I consciously said, despite all the other errors that I made as a new mom, I consciously said the one thing I'm not going to do is micromanage a new dad, because I really felt like he needs to be able to feel as capable of caring for this little one as me. Otherwise, I'm setting myself up to always be the one. And I didn't want that. There's one tick in a positive box for me as a new mom. I made many, many other mistakes. That is not one that I made.
You were very wise. You were a very wise mom.
It was a moment. Somebody probably gave me that advice, like let them make their own mistakes. Mm-hmm. And I also just knew my husband, and he's such a smart and independent guy. I was like, okay, he survived into his 30s before he was married. This man can take care of a newborn as well as I can, I'm sure.
I wasn't that wise. I made a lot of mistakes, and it was hard. We got close a couple of years to we staying, we go, and what, and we had to work on it. And I got to tell you, I wish I did it so much earlier than when that happened. It would have saved me a lot. But no matter when you do it, it's so worthwhile to just let them rise to the occasion and be a part of a team
Yeah.
instead of two independent people coming together.
Oh my gosh. And I think that definitely contributes to your happiness, your well-being. It
Hmm.
makes life a lot more fun,
Yeah.
if you're not trying to be, the mom in control of everything, you
Yeah.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
there are things that I'm definitely triggered by. Definitely not the dishwasher. That's actually my husband's thing, not mine. But I'm like, just get it all in there. But, you know, but when you let that go, it's the time freedom, it's the energy freedom,
Man.
it's the space to maybe do a little self-care, you know?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
time to be a queen. Take your glass of wine and just go sit. Maybe sit outside, maybe have a bath, and really take care of you. Because underneath all of our physical pain is the resentment and the anger and the sadness and the grief and the inner child who's like, what about me? Right?
Oh man.
Right?
Mhm.
And when you heal all of that, you get to shine. You get to be the queen and the diva of your life. You get a husband who will want to take care of you. He does now, sometimes. Most of us, he does now. Um, we're just not seeing it, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to be the queen. Absolutely, right? So I think that's really huge, and I think that's a piece of the puzzle in that health and wealth and happiness is being able to have that freedom and that appreciation of what you have right now, you
Hmm.
know. So we can get so caught up in achievement. I know that was something that I really struggled with. So how do we kind of get over that piece of like wanting something in the distance that just keeps moving further and further away? There's the next
Oh.
step and the next step.
Well, first you have to be clear in what's the energy you're carrying, right? So if we go back to the ancestral energy and you think of your family, um, what was the energy in your family? Was it the energy of lack? Was it the energy of I'm not good enough? And who in your family kept saying that or kept doing the things that made you feel like you felt, many of us women are also very intuitive. So, did you feel that sadness from your mom that she's not good enough? Did you feel something about your dad that didn't feel good? And how did you react to that as a child? Because you were watching that every day. But yet we want to fit in with our families. So even exceeding and being successful can be just as harmful because we want to fit in with our family. I can't fit in with my family if they are all about lack and not good
Mhm.
enough. Who am
Mm.
I to go out into the world and be successful and do all these amazing things, right?
Oh my gosh.
So there's so many
Yes.
layers, and that's when our inner saboteur, that's when these voices of the doubter and the judge and the critic will pop up and say, we're going to keep you small because that's how my family does it.
Mm.
So where are you? First, you have to be aware of what's the energy. What did you hear all the time growing up? Did you hear we're not rich like the Joneses? The Joneses are rich, or Did something happen in your family? Was there somebody, if we talk about money, did one of your relatives go bankrupt? Was your father an entrepreneur, but he didn't do well? What were the what was the energy around money? For me, my parents fought a lot about money. My father spent it, and my mother paid the bills and never told her what he was spending it on. So there was a
Mm,
lot of battle around that. So I've had to do the work to clear that energy up and then choose, how do you want to feel? How do you
mm-hmm.
want to feel about yourself? How do you want to be when you're with your kids? And what do you want for everybody? What do you want
Mm-hmm.
in life?
Yeah. And that sovereignty of like I get to choose for myself regardless of what my upbringing was, and you can
Yeah.
see the conditioning as it's standing out like, oh, that was conditioning, and I
Yes.
thought that was personality, but it's
Mhm.
not. It's conditioning. You take that on and it affects how you see life and how you move forward with things.
What triggers
Yeah.
you? I mean, it affects
Yeah.
everything.
Everything.
Everything. It's like the rose-colored glasses. You
Yeah.
have, if your family was very judgmental,
Mhm.
you have those glasses of being judged. You judge everything you do. You judge everything people do. You judge everything. You judge even the people who are here to help you.
Right.
You will sabotage that. People, when I get into the work of people saboteur, it's amazing how strong that part is for people. I
Mhm.
had one woman recently who said, when we got into her saboteur was just so scared,
Mm.
scared of everything, scared to move forward, scared to leave her home. She's even afraid to drive in her car. That's a level of fear. Like, where did that come from?
Mhm.
She knew that some of her family members were had that same fear, but it's to a whole new level. So was it past lives? Depending on what you believe in, look at what you're creating for yourself. And every time, if you have a business, every program you put out there has that energy in it. Every
Mm.
email you write, every response has that energy in it,
Right.
right?
You can
So,
feel it, right? You can
uh,
you can feel when somebody's, kind of acting from that energy, that
desperation and fear and
desperation.
yeah.
I was just talking to, a friend and fellow entrepreneur this week, and like the marketing, the spam that you get from people who friend you and then they send
Oh,
you the messages with their program and you're like, "Oh man,
LinkedIn is
I
the
just
worst for that.
it's the worst." And you're like, "I
Yeah.
just wanted to be your friend. I didn't want to pitch." It's like, "Whoa, we haven't even met. We haven't
And we're
even
dating
talked.
already.
Like you're moving too fast for me." And I feel like you give this pitch to everybody. I don't feel special. I don't feel special anyway.
I
But,
don't feel like the queen in this. Yes.
yeah, but
Pressure.
like that energy that comes through. So, I mean, specifically if you're talking to entrepreneurs who want to have a successful business and successful relationships with people, the energy that you're bringing to the table makes a huge difference. And I know we can absolutely, feel that energy. Like the energy of somebody who's just like you have to be around them. You just
Yeah.
absolutely adore them. You're like, I'm magnetized to you. I just want, because of the true nature and
Yeah.
the authenticity that they're putting out there. Their
Yeah. And when,
integrity. Yeah.
yeah, integrity is huge. And when we heal all that, I call it like the pig pen, right? Pig pen, you had all that dirt flying around. It's the stuff we
Mhm.
don't see. So when we clear up our own
Mhm.
pig pen stuff, and you're authentic, you are shining light where the people just show up. They're like, hey, my mom told me about you and I got to check you out. Or I heard about you. I heard you talking and I got to get there. Life is just so easy. Money shows up in your bank account. I have a woman, Joyce, who has worked with me for a while. She's 80 years old. There's always something she wants to work on. She's been working on her health, and her health is so much better. She's actually getting younger. But because I'm always interested, okay, how's your money? Because she has an investment. And years ago, she lost money on some term life insurance where the guy didn't follow up. And that money that they say you can take out was gone. So she was very skeptical. So we've been working on her money things. And now in her 401k, whatever she has, there's just more money each year. She's not doing anything. She finally got the right people who she can trust. And then money just comes to you. Life is just easy. So,
yeah. And that's hard for people who have been sort of existing in that state of lack. And that patterning that you can take from, like you said, your parents, from generations of. So when you go to break that, like, what is the best first step for someone? So I know somebody is listening and they're like, yeah, right, Jackie, how is that money just showing up in their account? Like, where is it coming from? You know?
yes. Well, the first step is awareness. First, you have, where in your life, if you look at your health, do you have the right doctors that you trust? Have you attracted? If you look at law of attraction, we're attracting to us all the time. Look at your life right now. Do you have the right doctors who are listening to you? They hear your concerns and they're spending time with you to find the right help. Are you able to feel better? Look at your money situation. Is more money going out than money coming in? Just tune into it. Is it hard for you to hold on to money? Is there battle? Do you feel, I have a lot of accountants as clients. They get frustrated with money. They're working with money all day long. They should not be frustrated with money or angry with money. What's your energetic relationship to money? Let's clear that up so that you love money and that money loves you. And you know what? If you are listening to this and you are really triggered saying, Jack, this is crap, it doesn't make any sense, just own it.
Yeah.
That when we have a belief that that's not true, that means no matter what you try, so if you're in pain, no matter what the doctor suggests, it's not going to work. No matter what program you sign up for, it's not going to work because of that mindset. So how can you open up? What can you do today to just shift into thinking, when I take those vitamins, I feel a little better the next day. When I drink my water, half my weight in ounces of water, I feel better the next day. When I'm outside for 10 minutes a day, I don't have to go for a walk. I don't have to run. I don't have to lift weights. I can just breathe outside. I feel better. Be aware of that. You can even take paper and pen and you can start writing, how does your pain make you feel? I am angry. Like, let's really get down to what's the emotion under your physical pain. If it's angry, let's talk about the anger. What are you angry about? Who are you angry about? And what you need to do to heal that relationship so that your body's not storing all of that anger that you feel you can't talk about. If you worry, what is it you're worried about? And I know I have a lot of loving people in my family who worry. But if you look at law of attraction, when you worry, you're going to have more things to worry about, right?
Right.
What can you do in this moment to step into maybe trusting just a little bit that in this moment you're safe and that you feel good and you're good enough, right?
Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, with worrying, like, worrying is kind of it's a habit, right? I'm a reformed worrier, and it's like something you can do. It's actionable.
Right.
But like, what is the emotion underneath the worrying? Like, is it fear of, loss? Is it fear of, something happening and things being out of control. Like,
Mhm.
what's underlying that? I know for
Yeah.
me, that made a huge difference. Like, that that was kind of a symptom. Getting
Yeah.
into a state of worry was a symptom, but the underlying emotion was what I needed to tackle.
Yeah. And it's sometimes these are all habits and patterns. And it's kind of like that webbing, it's hard to change a pattern. The first thing is noticing you're doing it. The first thing is noticing, oh, I'm in my head thinking all the time. I'm a really good thinker. Okay, that's great. And you're really smart. But in order to change the energy, we have to get down in our body and feel. What is it you're feeling that you don't want to feel in this moment? Right? And when you start feeling your emotions, then you can say, oh, I don't want to feel that. I can let it go. Or I'm holding on to mom's worry habit. I'm holding on to dad's frustration. I'm holding on to dad's worry about not being able to provide, you know, or I want to be more like dad because mom's too frail. Let's really get to the bottom cause of what you're feeling and go from there because you're spending all this time not being paying attention to that,
Mm-hmm.
and which takes up our time. I'm sorry, but this is 2022. We're in a pandemic and we don't have a lot of time.
Mm-mm.
You only have now. And what can you do now to create the life you want? Because you are all powerful out there. You are all creating your life. Is it the life you want? And it
Mm-hmm.
is completely possible to shift this, to have the health you want, to have the income, to have the amazing relationship that you really desire. It's your time.
Mm. So, so true. Yeah. And I think, what you're saying is those little shifts. It's not an upheaval. And an
No,
upheaval doesn't always serve us in
no.
making actual change.
Yeah, this isn't about getting divorced, leaving your relationship. It's because even if you leave your relationship today, you're still the same person. You're still carrying that same beliefs, conditioning. You're going to create the same thing with somebody else. So, what can you do right now to just take an assessment of your life, all these areas of your life, and say, in the next month or two, I really want to work on this. And then move to the next thing, right? And what do you need to shift that in that area of your life and get very clear with it? Because we can all sit here and say, well, this is who I am, and you've just got to accept it. It doesn't work anymore. It
No.
didn't work for us. I parented that way, and it does not work for my kids. I had to
No.
create a whole new language to understand my kids so that they could be empowered and successful. And my son, my younger son, is 25, and he still has friends from high school who are, killing themselves or passing
Mm.
away. And that breaks my heart. Like we're doing something wrong here. There's
Mm.
more
Yeah.
that we can do to empower our kids.
Yeah.
They are super sensitive. They want us to talk about their feelings. They want to be heard, just like we wanted to be heard. But now they're here to say, just pay attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that you care about me, which is something that we've always wanted, right?
I know. It's pretty universal. Yeah, I think this is a special time, and each of my guests has touched on this a little bit. Um, you know, the idea that now all of these things that are happening, that are shifting, are giving us this opportunity. And especially when we're talking about our ancestral patterns, that we have the opportunity to not only heal for ourselves but to heal for generations after us. And I know that's something that you believe very strongly too.
Oh my God. I can't tell you enough. First of all, I had a lot of fear in my life. My mother was raised in Sardinia, Italy during World War II with German soldiers walking around her little island. And all the fear that her and my grandmother carried, I got that. It took me a long time to clear it. First, it took me a long
Mm,
time to find the right coach to say, this is what you're doing, this is what's
mm,
wrong. And then to be able to clear it, but to know that I don't want to pass that down to my kids. I want my kids to go off and explore the world and travel. And so I had to work on myself.
mm-hmm.
And so when we do that, we are creating a better life on this planet. We are creating consciously aware children.
Mm-hmm.
People who are born today, they care a lot, whether we choose to see it or not. They're empathic, they care, they feel, and they know things. And if we just give them the right environment, they can flourish and we can have a completely new, better life on planet.
Yeah.
We just have to let everybody, if we could just let everybody be themselves, not accuse, not say you have to do it my way, but who are you? And let me get to know you without me pushing my agenda on you.
Yeah.
It will be a different world.
I'm 100% with you. I think that's definitely something I feel very strongly about, just letting people have their own unique expression and having people feel safe and free to live in their truest sense. I think that is what is going to liberate us and really help us in the future. And I think to circle back to kind of where we started with the mom, the overwhelmed, overworked, pushing too hard, when you think you're doing all of this for everyone else, like, let's be honest, those moms are like, I want to take care of everybody. I want to put food on the table. I want to have enough money to take care of my kids as they go forward in their future. But like, the best way for you to really help others is to first start with yourself. And that the healing and the time that you invest in your own health and well-being is only ever going to amplify and help everyone around you and generations going forward and the world at large, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I just did a 4-day, 5-day retreat and really worked, help people clear their energy and get clear on what they want. And oh my God, a woman was having a better relationship with her husband. They were getting closer, the pain was gone, money was showing up. We make it hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not here to blame anybody. It's just you are powerful. You
Mm-hmm.
have everything you need inside of you to have that amazing life that you deserve.
Well, and if you put up all the barriers, you can certainly take them all down.
That's right.
Right? If it's all
Yes.
you, then it's all you. Like you said, like, be empowered. Be empowered from the inside, right? So I love that you just shared that you did that retreat, and I would love for you to share with everybody how they can connect with you and some of the things that you have coming up soon.
Yeah, so you can check out my website, jacquelinemkane.com. That's a long one, I know, but there'll be a link, I think, somewhere.
Absolutely. In the show notes. Yes.
And make sure you put the M in there because there's a lot of Jacqueline Canes out there. You can also go to my Facebook group, Healing Circle by Jacqueline Kane. And the latest program I have that we just had our first session, and if you choose to join, that one's recorded, but it's a 7-week Reclaim Your Power program where we heal your ancestral energy. We begin the process to heal your inner child because that's not a one and done. We talk to your saboteur and we up level your saboteur's job description. And we go through a few other processes. I want to get clear on what you want to achieve in the next 3 months. And let's clear all the energetic barriers that are keeping you from that. And trust me, most people, money shows up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing, right, that you're you want to work on the money, but it's working on all that stuff, and then the money just comes. The money is just energy.
Yeah.
So you just clear the runway for the energy to come in.
That's right. Now we're going to land the plane.
We're going to land the plane.
The money plane.
You just need those flags, right?
That's right. Directing it where to go.
I feel like my guides are having fun with me tonight because they're just sending me all of this silly imagery. I don't know what's going on. I'm blaming my guides. I mean, I'm a goofball as it is, but I haven't even said all the things that are coming through making me laugh right now. When we were talking about like childhood and, money, and I was thinking about like, we don't talk about money. And of course, like automatically I was like, we don't talk about Bruno, no. Everybody's singing about Bruno, but we don't talk about Bruno, right? That's what I want. That's what I was thinking. So silly. So somebody's going to come upon this and be like, this Kelly, she's a silly girl. It's true. But this is really, truly how I am if you have a conversation with me in person. So be forewarned. But I so appreciate you, Jackie. And I also know you have a book project coming up. So for anyone who's listening who may be interested in being part of that project.
So yes, we've been involved with Laura DeFranco for a while now, and I've seen all of you amazing people creating book projects, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Not for me until recently, because my passion really is educating people on energy and how you have to look at the energy to really make shifts. When you look at the energy, things start happening fast. And so my book project is the Energy Medicine Solution, Mind-Blowing Results to Live a Fabulous Life. So I'm looking for 24 healers who want to write their story and write about a modality to help people start shifting their energy today. Get your mind-blowing results. So we've got a few people in it already. I just posted on Facebook, and there's a lot of responses I need to get back to.
You've got your work cut out for you. I know. Yeah, these projects are quite incredible the way that they come out. And I'm so excited to read about this one because I think that energy shift can be a little tough to bite your teeth into, but once it works, it works.
Oh my God. Once you tip your little toe in there and you're like, oh, that really shifted everything. Yup. Mm-hmm. You're hooked.
Yeah. So a way for people to have 25 experts telling them, here's what you're going to do. That's going to be something to look forward to. Do we know like about when that's coming out?
So, well, we're really going to kick it off and get together in June, and we're hoping for a November launch so that, of course, there would be Christmas gifts and that kind of thing. And then, maybe workshops and full day retreats with everybody sharing a modality. There will be Feng Shui, there will be Qigong, Reiki, all kinds of sound healing and all kinds of cool modalities.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. I'm so excited for you. I really think that you've given us some great food for thought, and I hope that people will share and get the word out on these different tools because we all deserve a happy, healthy, wealthy life today.
It's time to be fun now, right? Yeah. It's time for more fun in our lives.
I love it. Thank you so much. And when the book comes out, I want you to come back on and tell us all about the project and catch us up on the things you have going on then.
Thank you, Kelly. This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, it was a blast. Have a great one, everyone. Take care.